Destiny 2 just got the long-awaited 7.3.5 sandbox changes, not to mention some free-to-play content in the form of the Guardian Games event and a revamped Prophecy Dungeon loot pool. There's new Iron Banner and Trials weapons coming down the pipe as well, so I thought today would be a great time to go over a few god roll options for every weapon that has been added into the game's API since Tuesday, including me letting you know when you can get or farm each of those weapons. If any of this info changes, or if Bungie decides to add more weapons into the game between now and the final shape, I'll be sure to let y'all know down in the pinned comment below. But we got a lot of weapons to go over, so let's start with the Hullabaloo grenade launcher, which definitely is not secretly the Edge Transit with a fresh paint job. Hullabaloo is the second wave frame heavy grenade launcher in the game, the other being the dimensional the Neomuna grenade launcher. I'm gonna be honest, wave frame heavies have a lot of competition in PvE, so much so that Bungie just heavily buffed them on Tuesday. I don't think they're gonna dominate the meta, but they'll probably be entertaining to use. The main role that instantly comes to mind when looking at all available perks is gonna be Volt Shot and Chain Reaction. Paired together with an arc class, you could do some wild crowd control damage with Hullabaloo. Fire the gun once, ragdoll a bunch of enemies with Chain Reaction, now reload to activate Volt Shot, and fire again for even more crowd control fun. You've also got Envious Assassin and Cascade Point, which I gotta be honest, I'm kinda interested to try. Get a kill with another gun, then whip out Hullabaloo with both perks activated and just free the beast on whatever big target is in front of you. A deep mag that you hopefully empty in just 2.5 seconds. Now, will that be the new raid DPS meta? Probably not. But that's not gonna stop me from doing dumb shit to the Primeval in Gambit in my upcoming charity stream where I have to wear a cat maid outfit. Charity incentives, don't ask. There are other interesting options on the Hullabaloo. Golden Tricorn and One for All come to mind for the extra damage output. Between the two, I might prefer One for All because it's easier to activate IMO, but I think for this launcher, I might chase my Volt Shot Chain Reaction roll and then be done with it. Hullabaloo can be earned in the Guardian Games event going on right now. Next up, Taraxippos the Scout Rifle. I am admittedly not a Scout Rifle guy, although I will definitely make an exception for another Scout Rifle coming later in this video. I am mildly interested in Taraxippos in 2024 though, because lightweight scout rifles did just get a buff on Tuesday. They can now kill in PvP in 3 crits and 1 body instead of 4 crits. For a PvP god roll, the main role I'm looking for is probably going to be Zen Moment and Kill Clip. If you've been out of the loop for a while, Zen Moment is a perk that used to suck way back in the day, but it's great now in PvP. Combine that together with the Omelon Fluid Dynamic Origin trait and you have a disgustingly stable scout rifle for PvP. Taraxippos groupies are sure to notice that the gun now has access to Eye of the Storm in column 3, which is damned interesting and worth toying around with for sure. I really think any combination of Eye of the Storms and Moment Moving Target or Keep Away in column 3 and Kill Clip in column 4 will be a rock solid roll. Gutshot Straight is there, but remember that Bungie heavily tweaks PvP to put more emphasis on getting crits over body shots, so that's not really a perk I'm interested in right now. You also got Cascade Point available in column 4. That perk's going to be harder to take advantage of now with the new special ammo meta in PvP, but when you do manage to activate it, the next few seconds will be fun for sure. I don't really care about Taraxippos in PvE, but if you do, you got 4th times the charm and Focused Fury right there for extra damage output, or Hatchling if you're running Strand. The final weapon under the Guardian Games umbrella is the Title SMG, back for the 3rd year in a row, and for the first time ever, I'm actually chasing a PvE roll on it, as the Title is the first SMG in the game capable of rolling both Repulsor Brace and destabilizing rounds. That might actually be the first Void SMG in a long time to dethrone my long-standing PvE love affair with the Funnel Web. Now, you've also got Surrounded and Collective Action for better damage output. Those rolls are also worth fiddling with. But for me, it's Repulsor and Destabilizing all the way. You could always try to get a PvP god roll, but I'm gonna recommend you don't for 2 reasons. 1, Bungie is trying to choke out SMG viability in PvP more and more as time goes by. Not aggressively like Ted Bundy, more like slow and annoyingly like a really tight, itchy turtleneck sweater. And 2, PvP SMG competition is fierce, and if I'm gonna sell my soul to the devil, it probably won't be for the title. Still, dynamic sway reduction and rangefinder are right there if you don't have a decent PvP role and you don't mind not having friends. Moving on to the Prophecy dungeon weapons, which if you didn't hear have gotten a bit of a glow up and have a lot of roles that I really want to farm very badly. First up, we have the sudden death shotgun, which IMO was 100% built to be used in PvP. If you've ever been killed in PvP by some Dorito smelling try-hard bastard with a 5 out of 5 god roll matador, this is the gun you can farm for revenge. There are a lot of great perks out here, but God help me if my eyes didn't immediately lock onto the tried and true threat detector and opening shot. Now the good news is there are other quality options here. If you play Arc or Strand, Elemental Capacitor is a great replacement for threat detector. Arc for the quality boost in handling, and Strand for the extra airborne effectiveness. Stasis is okay for the better reduced ADS movement penalty. Void is for the extra stability, which does reduce incoming flinch. And Solar players, you shouldn't be using Elemental in PvP if you play Solar. Slide Shot is also a damn good pick in column 3. I personally like the better handling from Threat Detector, but Slide Shot and Opening Shot is an undeniably great combo. Barrel Constrictor did just get buffed by Bungie on Tuesday, and it's really tempting to take that perk, but come on man, it's Opening Shot. Remember that while the extra damage granted by the Crossing Over Origin trait in PvP is probably going to be minimal, even a little bit of extra damage can help you fight the effects of damage drop-off in PvP, which is solid. Believe me when I tell you I'm going to be farming the hell out of Prophecy until I get this role. More on that probably on Thursday. Next, under the Prophecy umbrella, Relentless, another weapon I really want to get a god roll of for PvP specifically. I very much enjoy high impact pulse rifles in PvP, and this one's got a lot of fun stuff. Keep Away, Rapid Hit, and Slideways in column 3, and Headseeker, Moving Target, and Zen Moment in column 4. Goddamn. I think any combination of those perks would be an awesome neutral game role, aka those perks would almost always be helping you out, no kill trigger required. Gun to my head, it's probably going to be Keep Away and Zen Moment, but the combination of Headseeker and the extra damage provided by the Origin trait at the bottom half of the mag is really tempting me. I don't have the exact numbers yet because the content just rolled out, but the two together could make it possible to more easily lock up a 2-tap in PvP. I promise to update you the second I get that roll, way at the top of my to-do list. By the way, Slice is there for kind of a weird PvP pick, but I'm not about to yuck anybody's yum. Desperado Outlaw is also tempting for the ability to trigger that combo, then mow through people. I'm far more interested in a good neutral game role, but you do you. Next, the Prosecutor, which has not been around for a while. Prosecutor has some interesting options for both PvE and PvP. I don't use a lot of auto rifles in PvE unless they're exotics with the word Storm in their name, but Prosecutor does have the ability to roll Dragonfly and Volt Shot together, which I may have to go for. PvP rolls I'm eyeballing include the who could have seen that coming combination of Zen Moment and Target Lock, which although it did get nerfed, remember that was targeted at SMGs only. I really want to give y'all specific numbers on Target Lock, but Bungie's sweeping changes to health values in PvP are not currently working in private matches for whatever reason. I want to say that Target Lock won't flat out reduce your time to kill on a 600 RPM auto rifle in PvP on high resil, only that it'll make your optimal TTK easier to achieve. But keep your eyes on the pinned comment though. When the health values transition to private lobbies, I'll update the pinned comment with number info on Target Lock. Target Lock and bottom half of the mag crossing over may potentially lower your TTK by a hair, but again, when I'm able to get concrete numbers on that, I'll update the pinned comment. No matter how you look at it though, Keep Away or Zen Moment in column 3 and Tap the Trigger in column 4 should be a combo that would feel great to any PvP auto rifle lover. Next, under the Prophecy umbrella is the Adjudicator SMG. Yes, it has Target Lock, no, that isn't what we want for PvP. Again, target lock got nerfed on SMGs. It activates later in the mag now. There's little point to running it on a PvP SMG. In column 3, I would be happy with either dynamic sway reduction or rangefinder, the classics. Perpetual motion and threat detector are also there, which are fine, but yeah, gun to my head, it would be dynamic or rangefinder. Leaning a little bit towards dynamic. Rangefinder pushes out your aim assist fall off, but on SMGs, that's only going to be pushing it out a little bit more. Rangefinder used to be way more vital to SMGs, but Bungie's been chipping away at it for a long time. And yes, it could mean the difference between you living and dying in a 1v1 gunfight, but dynamic is going to make the weapon feel better a lot of the time. In column 4, you got fragile focus, but what in the name of God and elitist Dado do we have here? Onslaught. Yes, Adjudicator is the only SMG in the game capable of rolling Onslaught. And yeah, that's what I'm going for, because I can only imagine the hilarious post-game messages I'll get after cooking some blueberry with that perk. For PvE roles, Onslaught and Feeding Frenzy are there, and so are Subsistence and Rampage. Either should be fine. Moving on, we have the Judgment Hand Cannon, which my friend Cool Guy is dying to get, so if you get a god roll, tag him on Twitter with a picture, he'll love that. If you're a PvE stasis user, you could go Headstone and Adrenaline Junkie, that would be interesting. You also got Demolitionist Junkie for a fun little grenade-focused weapon loop. On the PvP front, you have some good picks here. Encore, Moving Target, and Slide Shot in column 3, and Eye of the Storm, Multi-Kill Clip, Opening Shot, and Timed Payload in column 4. I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of boring, but really hard to argue with Slide Shot, Eye of the Storm. Two hand cannon perks I'm really fond of in PvP. Slide Shot is easy to activate and makes your hand cannon better in the neutral game, and Eye of the Storm is great for helping you win 1v1s. That'll probably be the role I end up going for, but again, a lot of good stuff in PvP on that gun, hard to go wrong. Next, we have the Darkest Before, and why, oh why, Bungie, is the weapon icon facing the wrong way? Kinetic, strand, and stasis weapons point to the left, and energy weapons point to the right. You are breaking my brain, and I need to know why. Get back to me on that. Darkest Before, to me, is one of the better feeling rapid-fire pulse frames in the game, the other one being the godly Peace of Mind. Darkest has some good options for both PvE and PvP. For PvE, I'm thinking Heal Clip and Incandescent if you want to light things on fire and also heal yourself at the same time. Or Subsistence and One for All for some extra damage spammy. If PvP, Kill Clip seems like an obvious choice, and I'd pair it together with Elemental Capacitor, even if you're running solar, just for the rare fact that you're pairing it together with a quicker Kill Clip activation. I also think Heal Clip Kill Clip would be fun in PvP, and even though I'm not too wild about it, Grenader Jake is a big believer in Incandescent in PvP, and that guy's still crazy enough to do Trials carries in 2024, God love him. So go ahead and try that out if it sounds interesting to you. And don't laugh, but Deconstruct may also be a play for PvP? I'm just saying, Titan Barricades continue to be strong in PvP in the current meta, and this could help you mow them down a little bit quicker. Not sure if that's a role I'm actively going to be gunning for, but let's just say it's not something I would shard immediately. Next up, something you can earn from doing Nightfalls, the Wild Style. No, damn it, not that one. Thank you. Yes, there we go. Wild Style is the second double fire special grenade launcher in the game, and a lot of people are already passing on it because it doesn't have access to the sacred PvE combo of disorienting grenades and auto-loading holster. There are other options here I plan on fiddling with, like Stats for All and One for All, or maybe Envious Assassin and Incandescent, but admittedly, any non-blinding energy grenade launcher has to compete with the GOAT, and that is rough competition, let me tell you. I'll keep you posted on any roles that decide to rise up to that challenge, but at the moment, I'm not eager to grind this week's Nightfall, as Wild Style is the current reward. The other Nightfall weapon, though, I really want to get, and that is the Slammer Vortex Frame Sword. I love Vortex Frame Swords, and the Slammer may finally dethrone my beloved Guillotine, or at the very least, give it some company. PvE-wise, the Slammer has a lot going for it. Join me as we go down the list. Eager Edge, Relentless Strikes, Chain Reaction, Cold Steel, and motherfucking Bait and Switch. Yeah, a sword capable of rolling bait and switch. I'm really looking for two roles, Eager Edge, Bait and Switch as my main DPS time PvE roll, and Relentless strikes Cold Steel for a stasis build in PvE. The Slammer is going to be the Nightfall reward on March 19th. Mark your calendars for that one. Next, new and revamped Trials weapons, starting with the Summoner, which has a lot of rock solid perks. For PvE, I think Heal Clip Incandescent would be great, and of course, obviously looking at Onslaught over in column 4, which could be very fun with Overflow or Subsistence. PvP wise, there is a lot. Elemental Capacitor, Zen Moment, Dynamic Sway Reduction, and Perpetual Motion in column 3, and Target Lock, Tap the Trigger, Kill Clip, and Onslaught in column 4. As mentioned earlier, getting new Target Lock numbers is going to be hard because new PvP health values aren't in private lobbies for whatever reason, but when I do have those numbers, I will update the pinned comment. Again, going to assume that Target Lock will make hitting your optimal TTK easier in PvP, which is great. Really though, if you just want a flat out workhorse role that's going to carry you through control lobbies with little thought, it's going to be Zen Moment, Kill Clip, or Dynamic Sway and Kill Clip all day. There's a really sick part of me though that wants Zen Moment and Golden Tricorn for the sole purpose of being paired together with my favorite meme hunter exotic, Arthur's Embrace. The game plan there: get a summoner kill, power up your throwing knife, get a homing throwing knife kill, then become a menace for the next 10 seconds. Summoner hits Trials on March 16th. I will be farming that one for sure. Next for Trials, a new weapon, the Prophet, aka we have Dead Man's Tail at home. The Prophet has access to the Tex Balanced Stock Origin trait, which, if you remember, just got buffed in a pretty major way, really leaning into the whole please fire this weapon from the hip power fantasy. Because that is the case, you know I'm looking for a role with both hip fire grip in column 3 and offhand strike in column 4. That's going to be my main I'm allergic to ADSing role, but I'm also going to be cool with keep away or rapid hit in column 3 and kill clip in column 4. There's other options too: Discord, Cascade Point, Precision Instrument, they all leap out at me. The thought of activating Golden Tricorn on a 120 RPM scout rifle is pretty goddamn terrifying, so I might have to pick that up to really guarantee that I never get into heaven. Moving on, why don't we wrap things up with Iron Banner weapons, starting with the new Tusk of the Boar Wave Frame Grenade Launcher. It should immediately leap out at you that this is the first and only wave frame launcher in the game capable of rolling with slideways, and that is what I want for PvE. I'd be happy with Envious Assassin, but being able to insta-reload a wave frame grenade launcher by sliding is pretty OP, so sign me up for that. Some people may instinctively flock to Bait and Switch in column 4, as that's a pretty loved PvE perk. And as funny as it is to imagine using that with Slide Shot, I think I'll save that perk for my power weapon and instead go for Chain Reaction. A good old-fashioned make the room go boom Strand Edition weapon, bing bang boom. Tusk of the Boar will be available on April 2nd when Iron Banner comes back. To wrap things up, we have a revamped Iron Banner classic, the Multimach, which you might notice no longer has scope options available in column 1, only barrel options, which I can only imagine some people are not going to be too happy about. Anywho, I think this gun was clearly built with PvP in mind, and it's got some good perks: Dynamic Sway Reduction, Rangefinder, and Moving Target in column 3, and Tap the Trigger, Kill Clip, and if you're feeling wild, Iron Reach in column 4. Again, don't go for Target Lock, that just got nerfed on SMGs, so we don't care. Pinning down the right combo of perks here kind of feels tricky. Despite the fact it would nuke my stability into the toilet, I might go with Rangefinder and Iron Reach for I'ma tickle you from as far away as I can roll, but outside of that, Full Bore, Accurized, Dynamic Sway, and Kill Clip might be a much more reliable role to cause trouble with. Yeah, I mentioned earlier Bungie's winding down SMGs, but that role would definitely make some noise. If you have any roles in particular you're chasing, let me know what they are down in the comment section, and if I change my tune on any of these roles, or if Bungie adds more into the game between now and the final shape, I'll let you know down in the pinned comment. Thank you very much for watching. Peace!